Welcome to the news on Zodiac with me, Chancellor Zabanda. The headlines. Government hints on turning Bingu Stadium into COVID-19 isolation center as hospitals in Lilongwe run out of space. Reinforced coordination helps Wildlife Department yield gains in fighting wildlife tracking syndicates. High Court to determine next month on possibility of commencing trial in the judge's bribery case. Elsewhere, vote counting underway in Uganda's highly contested elections. Now the news in detail. Ministry of Health has hinted on turning Bingu National Stadium into an isolation center to respond to the growing need for patient space in Lilongwe as COVID-19 cases keep rising. Minister responsible Kumbize Chiponda said her ministry is taking similar initiatives in other parts of the country, considering the limited space in the country's hospitals. Kamuzu Central Hospital has already run out of space in the isolation ward, and the alternatives, Waira and Biwi hospitals, are almost full. Andrew Viano has filed this report.
As cases of the COVID-19 pandemic continue to swell each passing day in the country, government is pondering on turning the magnificent Bingu National Stadium into an isolation center to cope with growing demand for spaces at Kamuzu Central Hospital and other facilities in Lilongwe. Minister of Health Kumbize Chiponda, who was speaking at the official launch of distribution of personal protective equipment to fight COVID-19 in the country by Malawi Red Cross Society, said officials from her ministry visited Bingu Stadium to appreciate if it can be turned into an isolation center. Chiponda said the same initiatives are being taken in Blantyre, where the ministry is also searching for other places that can be set as isolation centers.
We're also looking at the other places as well. We're also thinking of the Bingu National Stadium. I will be there this afternoon just to inspect and see how best we can use it. So there are different options which we are looking at as a ministry in order that we do not turn away anybody else, but we give the right care to our COVID-19 patients. The same is also in Blantyre. We are also looking at various options in which we can increase our bed capacity. Malawi Red Cross Society President Innocent Majia says distribution of PPEs will initially target 4 districts.
We were targeting much on the PPEs, top of the water tanks, the soap, the sanitizers, the masks, and other important materials. Targeting 4 districts of Chikwawa, Kalonga, Mangochi, But apart from these, districts, we have also thought it wise that we should come up with what we call the core of the crisis modifier, whereby maybe we could also have districts that could also look into the same.
Malawi has over 9,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus and over 200 deaths.
Meanwhile, Oxfam Malawi has cautioned government to be transparent and accountable in managing resources being used to contain the second wave of COVID-19. Oxfam Malawi Country Director Lingalireni Mihowa said in a statement that this is vital for the Tonse Alliance administration to gain public trust after a report by the Ombudsman's office revealed massive abuse of resources in the first phase. The appeal comes barely days after President Lazarus Chakwera petitioned development partners to support his administration in mobilizing resources for the fight. Vanani Yorenda reports.
The statement released by Oxfam Malawi states that the country needs to learn from what was revealed in the recent Ombudsman report, titled Misplaced Priorities in the Use of Funds Meant for the Fight Against COVID-19 by the Coordination Cluster at national level. According to Oxfam Country Director Lingalireni Mihowa, the report revealed gross abuse of resources and maladministration in the implementation of Malawi National COVID-19 Preparedness and Response Plan. Mihowa says Oxfam expects government and other concerned stakeholders to put in place measures that will ensure accountability and transparency in the use of funds and other resources which will be mobilized for the fight in this critical time. Oxfam has described as appalling revelations in the Ombudsman report that almost 80% of the total funding secured last year was spent on coordination cluster allowances instead of essential needs. The organization notes that funds in excess of 75 billion kwacha raised last year would have gone a long way in strengthening our ailing health system, which comes in handy in managing the surging cases. However, the organization has commended President Lazarus Chakwera's declaration of state of national disaster as being timely, considering the alarming rate at which cases are being reported. For Zodiac, I am Vanan Mirenda.
In Blantyre, the District Health Office has appealed for urgent supply of tents and test kits in its fight to contain rising cases of COVID-19. District Medical Officer Dr. Miriam Nyusulu says lack of the resources is delaying efforts to combat the disease. Meanwhile, Nyasa Manufacturing Company has provided the office with 50,000 surgical masks. Hapen Jalamano has filed this report.
The District Medical Officer Dr. Miriam Nyusulu says they are facing challenges of inadequate resources as they are employing a grand fight against COVID-19 in the district. Dr. Nyusulu cited tents and test kits as some of the resources that are urgently needed for their operations to run smoothly.
We don't have enough RDTs for this COVID. We would like to urge stakeholders to help us with a lot of tents to mount in our various health centers so that we can decongest Kameza isolation center where the testing is being done there, so that we can be doing this testing in our various health centers.
This was said on Thursday when Nyasa Manufacturing Company supported the office with 50,000 surgical masks. The company's managing director, Fleetwood Haya, says they feel obliged to join forces in the fight to save its customers from the pandemic.
Upon hearing the national address of our president just a few days ago, it prompted us. You know, now COVID is becoming so devastating. Those numbers are becoming to the people that we know, especially those who are also close to us. And if you look at the death numbers that are happening, we thought it wise that we should not just sit. Yes, we did a donation to Kamuzu Central Hospital, about 40,000 masks, but we thought we could also do something as the president asked. We should not just sit and maybe wait for others to push us. We thought the little that we have, we can share so that we can protect these guys, our soldiers who are the frontliners of the COVID-19. You know, these guys, they do take a risk when they are treating or when they are checking us. So we thought it wise that we should continue protecting them so that they can keep helping us.
The country is in a state of disaster as authorities are attempting to find solutions to stop further spread of COVID.
And still on COVID-19, the Ministry of Education says it is waiting for advice from health officials to determine the way forward for classes at Lilongwe Girls Secondary School, where learners held protests demanding that they be released when 16 students tested positive for COVID-19. The incident forced authorities to engage health personnel who have conducted mass tests at the school to help inform the next course of action. Spokesperson for the ministry, Chikondi Jimala, said the 16 learners have already been sent home.
At the moment, what we can say is that, as you are all aware, that all issues to do with the COVID-19 pandemic, they are a public health issue. So whatever decisions or way forward that are being made or will be made will be based on what the public health experts from the Ministry of Health as well as the Presidential Task Force provide as guidance. So at the moment, maybe the ministry cannot say much because that is a public health issue. So our colleagues from the Ministry of Health will be able to provide guidance to say in these circumstances, well, what do we do? But suffice to say that what the ministry can say at the moment is that it is doing everything possible to make sure that there is full compliance of all COVID preventive measures in all the schools, the guidelines that were circulated, and all students and learners are always counseled and taken care of so that they know what is happening. But as regards the other decisions, that is a public health issue, so the Ministry of Education at the moment cannot say a lot. We await guidance from our colleagues from the Ministry of Health through the DHO and the Presidential Task Force.
And the Malawi Prison Service has indefinitely suspended visits by relations to prison facilities across the country as one of the measures by the service to contain the pandemic. Spokesperson of the service, Shimwe Shawa, told us a task force on COVID-19 under the department will be monitoring the situation and recommending new guidelines. Currently, 63 inmates and 16 members of staff have tested positive for the deadly virus nationwide.
I would confirm that as a department, We have completely suspended all relation visits to our prisons across the country. This is in the wake of the second wave of COVID-19. We have seen a number of cases, skyrocketing across the country. And so now that most of the members that come to visit our prisons are coming from these communities that have been hit hard by this second wave. And we are doing this to try to attenuate the risk that these members may have on our facilities. The Prison Task Force Committee will be regularly reviewing the guidelines, based on the trend of the pandemic. Should we have continuous rise in cases, then we're going to maintain this position. But should we experience in the near future a decrease in the number of cases being registered across the country, we may revert back to the area arrangement where we allow visitors to come and share their relations in our prisons.
Apart from the suspension, anything that we are doing at the Malawi Prison Service with the name of containing further spread of COVID-19 pandemic in the country's prisons?
Yes, you may recall that in the first wave, we established regional isolation centers where we do accommodate new admissions, new remandees or new convicts. This is to create a cutoff point for the further spread of the virus from the outsiders to the insiders.
The Department of Parks and Wildlife says despite registering a decline in tourism traffic last year due to COVID-19, the country made commendable strides on efforts to contain trafficking of wildlife products, particularly ivory. Director of Parks and Wildlife Brighton Kunchedwa says improved coordination with the judiciary and law enforcement agencies yielded some gains in cracking down on wildlife traffickers. Ronex Chiwanda reports.
According to Director of Parks and Wildlife Brighton Kunchedwa, the year 2020 has been challenging in protection of wildlife due to COVID-19 pandemic that hit the country, saying that the number of visitors reduced by half, a development that affected the operations of the department. Kumchedwa says despite the challenge, Malawi has made some gains, citing sentencing of 11 Chinese kingpins involved in ivory trafficking. He however lamented escalating cases of people arrested for being found in possession of game like pangolins. Out of 621 wildlife crimes committed in the year, 77 were netted for allegedly being found in possession of pangolins. Environmental rights activist Matthews Malata has commended the department on the strides made regardless of COVID-19 pandemic. Malata has since challenged the department to be on guard to avoid reversing the trend because there has been less movement of people due to COVID.
The Center for Social Concern has called on the citizenry to demand accountability and transparency in the way resources in government ministries, departments and agencies are being utilized to check plunder of their resources. The organization's program officer Bernard Mpebo said this in Doha during a media orientation on strengthening capacity of citizens to demand accountability and transparency on public finance management. From Doha, Onyango Nkuma reports.
The 2020-2021 national budget, which is under implementation, has already suffered a whopping 164 billion kwacha deficit, as official figures from Treasury indicated that between July and October last year, Treasury spent 635 billion kwacha against collected revenue of 471 billion kwacha. This, according to Center for Social Concern, an organization which assesses monthly cost of living, will have a negative impact on Malawians in the future, as they will be punished by heavy taxes to cover up money that is borrowed in the current budget. Programs Officer for Center for Social Concern, Bernard Mpebo, says government should use resources in the budget so that they do not incur unnecessary deficit.
The current budget has got the performance. It's not performing well, especially from the revenue generation. I think that's why as Center for Social Concern we decided that we should implement this project, because the citizens, they are not really aware of how much money is the government making and on how the government has really spent on this on the budget. At the same time, there's a deficit, which is not a good thing for here in Malawi, because it's promoting a lot of domestic borrowing, that will translate into increase in taxes in the future. I think you can agree with me that we have got a lot of taxation injustices in Malawi, especially whereby the poor are heavily taxed while the rich they are not taxed.
Malawi's national budget has been run on deficit for the past 5 years, a development that economic pundits argue is not healthy for the country's economy. The 2020-2021 national budget was pegged at 2.2 trillion kwacha, with revenue collections estimated at 1.1 trillion kwacha. For Zodiac in Idoa, this is Aunyango Nkhoma reporting.
Authorities in Mulanje say they target to plant at least 2.5 million trees during this year's tree planting season to replenish vegetation cover in the district. District Forestry Officer for Mulanje, Eric Mingwani, said during the launch of the district forestry season that the trees will be planted in local forests, Mulanje Mountain Forest Reserve, schools and along river banks. From Mulanje, here is Hastings Jimani.
The District Council has today said to officially launch this year's forestry season with plans to plant 2.5 million trees this year. District Forest Officer in Mulanje, Eric Mbingwani, says the trees will be planted in local forests, Mulanje Mountain Forest Reserve, schools, homestays, and along the river bank. My District Council, Councillor Richard Jikwakwa, said the district has not been spared by effects of climate change emanating from environmental degradation. Hence the call for restoration of destroyed trees. Parliamentarian from Mulanje Pasani, Ed Matanda, said after planting trees, it is now imperative for political and traditional leaders to lead in protecting planted trees. Or most of people that attended the event had put on face masks, buckets of water were all over the place, and social distancing was partially observed in adherence to COVID-19 prevention measures. For Zodiac in Mulanje, this is Hastings Jimani reporting.
You're watching the news on Zodiac. We'll be back shortly with more news.
Precious things have a secret formula. While John is busy trying to impress, James discovered Tangu's secret. Tangu uses Purity sanitary products from Purity body wash, Purity hands wash, Purity body lotion to Purity dishwash. After a week of using Purity sanitary products, James won the heart of Tangu. Use Purity sanitary products.
Welcome back. In this edition of the news, you're with me, Chancellor Zavanda. Let's take a look at the headlines. Government hints on turning Bingu Stadium into COVID-19 isolation centers. Hospitals in Lilongwe run out of space. Reinforced coordination helps Wildlife Department yield gains in foiling wildlife trafficking syndicates. High Court to determine next month on possibility of commencing trial in the judge's bribery case. Elsewhere, vote counting underway in Uganda's highly contested elections. Now, moving on with the news, the High Court in Blantyre says will deliver its ruling next month on whether or not to commence trial in a judge's bribery case involving business tycoon Dr. Thompson Mpinganjira. High Court and Supreme Court Registrar Gladys Gondwe confirmed this to us. Dr. Mpinganjira is alleged to have attempted to bribe a panel of 5 judges that was handling the presidential election case last year. Alfred Guta reports.
Dr. Thompson Mpinganjira's fate will be known next month. High Court and Supreme Court of Appeal Registrar Gladys Gondwe told Zodiac this morning, case or no case judgment will be delivered in the month end of February.
The ruling has been scheduled to be delivered during the last week of February 2021. When the date has been specified, you'll be notified.
The court will deliver the ruling in question after parties in the case filed their final submissions of case and no case to answer. Anti-Corruption Bureau Director General René Gwademba earlier told Zodiac was confident a case had been established against the defendant, Dr. Tom Mpinganjira. However, defense lawyer Patrice Nkono argued that Dr. Mpenganjira has no case to answer on the basis of lack of evidence. Dr. Mpenganjira is being charged with attempting to bribe a panel of 5 judges who presided over the presidential election case. For Zodiac in Blantyre, this is Alfred Gota reporting.
The Kidney Foundation Central Region Chapter says it will hold a vigil at Kamuzu Palace on Monday, 18 January 2021, to seek the intervention of President Lazarus Chakwera on the challenges its members are facing at Kamuzu Central Hospital. Chairperson of the foundation, Frank Mwale, has told us that their decision follows what he calls numerous complaints from patients and the increased number of deaths. But health authorities say they are working towards fixing the challenges. Madali Sopiri reports.
Chairperson of the Kidney Foundation Central Region Chapter, Frank Mwale, said before the vigil they will hold a demonstration from Kamuzu Central Hospital to Kamuzu Palace, where they will hold the vigil 100 meters from the main gate according to the law. He says they will not leave the palace until President Lazarus Chakwera addresses their concerns. He outlines some of them.
Our major concerns are that the machines that we are using at Kamuzu Central Hospital Dialysis Unit are worn out, are killing us. So we want a complete change of brand. So what we want is the government should give us a new set of machines, because we have tried this one and they are just killing us. So we want a new brand. Whether they will extend the contract for Zenius from Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital to Kamuzu Central Hospital, which is much easier, or they initiate the process of buying a new set of machines.
But Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Mwansambo, said it was unfair for the foundation to claim that the ministry is not doing anything about it when it was in fact supporting their cause for a change of supplier of the dialysis machines.
As a ministry, we care for our patients. That's why we made that proposal to extend the services that Fresenius is offering from Blantyre to Lilongwe. But unfortunately, people saw it negatively, and yet it was done for the benefit of the patients. So for this organization to accuse the ministry of not doing anything, I think is unfair, because we did work with speed to make sure that Lilongwe also gets good services. Just to assure them that I think we're doing everything possible to give them good service.
According to Mr. Mwale, Kamuzu Central Hospital has 17 dialysis machines, of which only 4 are working. For Zodiac, this is Madalitso Piri reporting.
Across the borders, vote counting is underway in some polling stations in Uganda's capital, Kampala. An increased presence of security force members was seen before polls closed. Lorries carrying soldiers drove through the city, while police and local defense units were also seen patrolling. President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for 35 years, is seeking re-election. The 76-year-old faces 10 challengers, most notably Bobby Wine, the 30-year-old pop star turned politician. And that's about what we had time for in this edition of the news. But before we go, another look at the headlines. Government hints on turning Bingu Stadium into COVID-19 isolation centers. Hospitals in Lilongwe run out of space. Reinforced coordination helps Wildlife Department yield gains in foiling wildlife trafficking syndicates. High Court to determine next month on possibility of commencing trial in the judge's bribery case. Elsewhere, vote counting underway in Uganda's highly contested elections. Log on to our website zodiacmalawi.com for more news. Remember to watch your distance, wear your mask and wash your hands with soap frequently to help contain the spread of COVID-19. My name is Chancellor Musabanda. Good night.